And then we can just say a vote of thanks to everybody. So let me share my screen, and those who wants to know more about the fruiStrategy, I would like to give very quick a glimpse of it. So what fruiStrategy does is, so let me give a quick.
వినిపిస్తుందా? Just a second, we seem to have lost Abdul. He's joining again.
Hey, gentlemen, sorry. Yeah. So I don't know what happened, but
yeah, please go ahead.
I pressed something. Yeah, if you were able to see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Deep. Thank you very much. So fruiStrategy solution is built. Maybe I pressed something. Okay. As a systems-driven approach as a foundation, and then modules in the strategy planning, which includes strategy analysis, strategic positioning, strategy formulation, and also the strategy planning part. And then we also have like a scenario planning to support it. Then the strategy translation take up through balanced scorecard framework, preferably. And then if you are fan of OKRs, you can use that. Then align everything in the organization, the projects, the people, the risks, business processes, technology. And then you have your planning processes, which is budgeting and financial planning, which can be done. You can do assessments, whether organizational assessments, ESG, OHI, and SFO, or culture. So you can do assessments from the tool. And then finally, you can do your strategy reviews, communications and actions. You can also align a whole organization. Then you can review the organizational performance, and then you can have a sustainable growth for your organization. So this is what the architecture is. Okay. Now, I'll just take this to this slide. Yeah, this is where one pager where we talk about strategy, fruiStrategy. So again, in analysis and formulation, so you can do all those stuff. The translation, and then you have a perform and reporting. So review and act, and then transform. So now I'll take you through a solution overview. So let me see if it is open. Yeah, it is open. Okay, so let me just show you something. So this is the home page. So when you log in, so you will find this. So everything in this is what we just talked about. Okay, it's a unique tool which covers the business processes, the budgeting part, and then also people performance and everything. And it is very detailed. It is like a very detailed alignment solution where you can use it in a real sense. Okay, so let me just quickly take you through the strategy analysis part. I'll just navigate through it. So you have organization structure, mission, vision, and values. strategy analysis. Then I'll just take these two strategy analysis. Okay, so in the strategy analysis, you can do external analysis like Porter Porter's five forces analysis or Pestel, and also you can do others like four corners, force field. So we keep adding new tools based on our customer requests. So whenever we find something new tool which is useful for the organizations, we add it. And we have something like a cognitive model and zone to win. It's a newly added modules. So in the cognitive model, what we have is, so you can have the complete. We talk about Mihai framework of strategy clockwise. So that is tuned to that. So you can have problems to solve. Basically, strategy is about making choices and then selecting the choice which you want to work. So you can define all your strategic choices in form of problems to solve, and then you have a solutions to deliver. So these, once you do that, so you can have your zone to win. Just to consider your zone to win concept, which is uh, uh, so what you achieve the current strategy and current products processes, and then what is your innovation. So how you want to innovate and then transform organization, so that you can have you can do that. Okay. Similarly, other strategy analytical analysis tools we have here, like a SWOT, Pestel, SWOT, four corners, portfolio analysis. Likewise, you can do that. Now, once you do this strategy analysis, so the next is you position yourself. So you can do a strategic positioning. Okay. So how you position your strategy is like based on the strategic choices you have selected for the problems to solve and solutions to deliver. You match it, and then you have a position mix kind of thing. So you just then you come up with your strategies. Okay. So finally, in the value proposition, what will happen is the value proposition. What will do is you come up with a what is it you are going to offer for a particular product or service to your client. So you need to come up with that. Okay, so this is your plan basically. So now this value proposition will tell you what is your strategy and what you need to do it, and then it tells you that to execute this strategy. So you need to have you will have some gaps. Okay, so you will have some you need to have capabilities. So you need to have you need to come up with the required capabilities. So this is required capabilities. Almost always you will not have all of them. Okay, so how you close that required capabilities is the capability gaps. So this is in the capability gaps. What you do is you come up with a plan how you close the capability gaps. Closing this capability gap is your strategy plan. Okay, so closing this capability gap is a strategy plan. While closing the capability gap, what you do is you identify all the things how to close it. Then you have a schedule. Okay, so you close in the quarter one, quarter two, maybe first year and second year kind of thing. So that's where you do the strategy planning process. So likewise, you will have a gap closure process, and then you have a draft strategy map kind of thing. So you come up with this is the strategy planning process. Then it's not enough that you talk about only capabilities. You also need to talk about revenue gaps. So for example, in next 3 to 5 years, you want to close, you achieve like a $10 million, for example, or $20 million, so whatever, based on your size of organization. Now, what is how you close the revenue gaps? So what are the revenue gaps with the current capabilities, and then how you close it? The outcome we can show here, like for a particular capability, revenue gaps. So you identify your strategic projections, what are the gaps in revenue, and then how you close it. That means which objective or which goal close how much, which initiative close the gap how much. So once you identify that, so it will be very easy for you to define your strategy. It is very easy for you to translate strategy. Okay, then almost always all the speakers today, if you hear, So everybody, right from the beginning, from Peter Campo to Mihai and everybody, you need to do the scenario planning. That means what are the key scenario changes will happen in a course of time. So you need to do that. So you identify the driving forces, you identify the indicators, and then you come up with the scenarios. So you maintain these scenarios in the system, and then you monitor those scenarios, how it take up. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so you need to do a scenario plan, and then scenario story. That means what is scenario story? Basically, scenario story is which scenario is active on any on a month-on-month basis, and what are the scenarios you can ignore it, because for example COVID outbreak is one scenario, war outbreak is another scenario. If the COVID is not happening, so you can ignore that scenario, but if it happens, what is your response? Okay, likewise you can do all scenario planning through the system. Now once we do all this is all part of strategy analysis and formulation process. Now, then we will have a strategy translation. Now, let us go to the strategy translation. Here we talk about the strategy balance scorecard draft. Okay, so it looks like that. So you have a draft. So that means when you are designing balance scorecard, you will not just design final balance scorecard. You come up with a plan. You come up with a draft. So you make one draft, two drafts, three drafts. Then you debate, discuss, and everybody is agreed. Okay, so this is the balance scorecard draft. So you create it. You can just very insert, just add it and keep on. For example, if you want to add one perspective, just click here. If you want to add one objective, this is you can just click here. This is like these are the perspective. This is objective and this is measures. Okay, and then in the bottom you can connect those to the initiatives. So likewise, you create it all it in one screen. So you can do that. For example, if you want to know what is the parameter details about the perspective, so you can know. If you want to know more about objective details, so you can know the data. So if you want to know measure details, you can okay. So you can define all the measure information here. You can also create if any other measure is required. So in this, one more important point here is, let us say you have a team of 10 people, they have to all approve this draft. So you can say, you can raise this, like you can just say it is, so all the users, they can say click. So it will be registered on my username. So once it is clear, so it will be stored in the database. Then it can be copied. So it will be copied to the real balance scorecard. So that means once we copy, it will go to balance scorecard. So this is like your production balance scorecard, where you will find all the themes, value drivers, objectives, kind of thing. So it looks like this actually. So this is like a very detailed way to look at it. For example, a formula. So you have your all the balance scorecard components very detailed. So you can find something like that. Okay, so if you take any objective, so you can see the full exam details. But once it is released, so this is the balance scorecard what you are using to manage your organization strategy. Okay. Likewise, you have initiatives. Then you have your performance. This performance is what? So performance means once we translate in month on month, you need to report it, right? So this is how you keep reporting it. So this particular screen will be shared with only the user who is responsible for his part of the business, for his part of the department, for his strategic objective, for example. Okay, so if there is something, so he can have his part of information updated. Likewise, okay. So any other thing, so you can just take any one of the data. If the data is there, you can find out. Likewise, so this automatically comes. All he need to do is he need to update his performance, his target versus actuals. So this is the data field which you enter it, or it can come automatically from any other ERP. In case if you have an integrated system, you can directly pull, or you can also export and import from here. Okay. Now this is the story. You also write your comments. Okay, so why this performance is poor or good or whatever, you can add it. So you can add one more performance. It comes by my name. So likewise, everything is recorded. Who is writing at what? And then if you want to see the last year performance also, you can see it. You can add it likewise. So this is the performance registering. Okay, so likewise you can see, you can register for objectives, initiatives, and all. Then everybody talk about strategic alignment today. Okay, right. Another today first session was very interesting. Another explained about the strategic alignment. So you can see how corporate and business units are aligned. Okay, so while doing this alignment, if you see it here, okay, like you see here, so alignment type. So when we see what another has explained, it is identical, contributory, or new. So now you can define all these things here. So this is the screen where you can define all your alignments, and then finally you come up with all misalignments. Then how you close these alignments is something here. Okay, so this is like alignment closure plan. So how do you close your alignments, misalignments? Likewise, you have, and this could be associated with any responsibility. Then, if you are a fan of OKRs, it does not matter. So you have the model. So you can define the organizational goals. So you can define organizational objectives, key results, initiatives, milestones, and then all the way to reporting the success stories. So you can define. I think it's more or less same the screen wise. Then you have like a people performance. Now let us talk about the aligning the organization. So people. So when you talk about people, so we have like individual performance, team performance, and 360-degree. So these are the usually known alignment practices for the people. So individual, so you can know the individual performance for the team. So in individual performance, what happens basically is, so you define the employee masters, all the people objectives. Okay, so you can define them. So once you define it, you link to the balance scorecard. Okay, so this way, all the people objectives can be linked to the balance scorecard, and then you keep on measuring it. Okay, so this is where you measure it. So this is, for example, let us say this particular employee has this performance in this month. So you can do all those. Okay, so likewise, you do all the employee performance data. If I just take any one of it, if I have it, so let me check if there is something. Okay, for example, let us say, okay, so you have employee performance data like that. Okay, so you can see what is your employee performance data, what is the target actuals and variance. You can see whether it is employees good, whatever. Likewise, so this is the individual performance. Likewise, you can have a team performance. 360-degree as assessment again. Okay, so 360-degree. So you have questions. The system will throw emails to all of them. So you can collect all the information. The system consolidates it, and then it give you the result. Okay, so likewise, this performance is basically what happens is you have performance is you can consolidate all. For example, okay, so you can just, if we have butterfly. So people performance can be reported like that. Weighted average of these three can be reported here. Then this is not enough. This is good for you to score. 9-box model will tell you what is your current capability, current performance of individual employee, and what is his capability, what is his potential. So it is not enough for us anyone to see what is the current performance. We also need to see the potential for it. So to strike a balance between these two, and then you can have a 9-box model. So in case if you have something like in a particular department, so you can have them. Okay, so you can have and you can generate. So there will be employees where they are here. For example, John Doe. So he is performance wise he is low, but potential is very high. That means you can consider him. If somebody comes into this, okay, in this category, so it is not good. Performance is low, potential also low. It's very dangerous. So either you fire them or you upgrade them to next level, you do whatever it takes. So likewise, then finally you have a competency management. So competency management means after doing all performance measures, so you have to close the gap, right? So closing the gap for the competencies. So you can do, you can create competency groups, competencies, you can create roles, training programs, and then finally you execute the trainings. So this is how it take up. Okay, so this is how it take up. And if you have any training schedules planned, maybe if it is for any department or something, okay, so you can have it. So if you have any training plans, so you can get a training schedule here. So likewise, you can complete all your people performance requirements. Business process, it is one of the very important criteria. So business processes are usually ignored part of it as far as the strategy is concerned. So usually business process optimization, they do it in a separate mode. So we try to combine all of this together. So you define business processes here. Okay, so first of all, list out all your core business processes, high level business processes. Then you identify KPIs for each this process. So you can just identify what is your KPI for process. So it has to be measured. Then identify methodology for which this is the methodologies what you are following internally into your organization. You can add it. It could be lean manufacturing or Six Sigma or whatever. You can, whatever tools you want to use, methodologies, you can just add it. You can also do value stream mapping part for your business, especially when you are talking about manufacturing or logistics part. So value stream mapping is something which is very important. Then finally, you measure process performance and report it. Finally, you get the reports. So in the reports, what happens is, so you can see the performance of the individual process, and you can also look at what is the overall performance of your all business processes. Likewise, you can see the strategic objectives here, the business processes. The dark shows the more, and then you can more influence. Lighter it shows less influence. So you can see which process methodology you are using it, and then you can also see what is the process. If you had a score, it will come here as a score. So you can see. So by this, you can also manage your business processes, which is aligned to the strategy. And of course, risks and compliance are very straightforward. So risks and compliances are like you identify there are two modules, risk module and compliance. We are going to add internal audit also very soon. So in the risk management, what happens is all you identify the risks here. So you identify all the business risks, whether it could be operational, strategy, or tactical. So then,
Okay, food is ready. Very fast. Ah,
okay, okay. So you can have some sort of risk assessment again. So you can just see, for example, you can see what is your risk. Okay, so where does it stand? You can report the risks. Okay. So likewise, so you can see, you can report a risk here. Then you can have a compliances. So compliances is something, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So you can report all compliance requirements. It is like as a list for you. How you list down all your compliances, because otherwise there is a chance that you miss something. Finally, you can come up with a compliance calendar. For example, if there is any renewal or something, you can have something like, for example, you can have some sort of data. So you have when is the renewal expected, automatically the system will remind you. Likewise. Now I'll just take you to budgeting. Budgeting, you can do the full budgeting module through the system. The capital expenditure budgeting, operational expenditure budgeting. So you can do that strategic expenditure and then financial statements. I'll just take you to operational expenditure budgeting, which is very important for everybody. Okay. So if you see like that, so what happens is, so you have something like that. Okay. So you define all activity forms by department wise. So individual department will get their activity sheets. Now you have GL accounts here, the combination of cost centers and also additional dimensions. additional dimensions you can define. So 3 dimensions are more than enough for any company to do a budgeting part. It's more than enough. Okay. And then you have for all the periods, whether it could be a rolling forecast or it could be a static forecast or whatever. Then you can also have your calculations in case if this you don't want to have a 400,000, you want to calculate it. So just click here. So it will open up here. So if you want to do write any formula or something, you can do that. So this is something which you can embed. So likewise, you can do reporting also same. If you have a data, it will tell you to report. For example, 25. Let me say 25 from January to December. So I'll generate it. So it will come with it for whole year. It comes with the data. So you can see the consolidated. So you don't have to use any Excel kind of thing. You give it to them, all those people, they enter the data online. Okay, or if they want to import it also, they can import it from Excel. You can export it to Excel and then import it. Okay, then it gives you a consolidated reporting. And then there are some dashboards. Okay, strategy expenditure is you can break it up, operational expenditure and capital expenditure. So you can get a strategy expenditure as part of the reporting. There is nothing called statics in the accounting concept. So either it should be capex or it should be opex. But you can identify what is a strategy expenditure from capex or opex. Then the system automatically reports you. Then finally you end up in financial statements, the projected financial statements. You can report it here, which is the last step of your budgeting process. Now, organizational assessment is something which is very, very, very important for all of us. So you can do the ESG assessment, SFO assessment, and then ESG assessment very comprehensive. So you can define all your comprehensive the compliance requirements. So you can define the categories, subcategories, the component master, ESG versions, blah blah blah. Then you can do your assessment. For example, if you want to do assessments, so you can do it. For example, like I say, so it works like that. So this is like assessment tool where you have all your questions, you answer it, and then you give them score. If it is a yes and no, you answer it. If it is a 1 to 5, you can answer it. You can also give the validity and note it. So likewise, the system consolidate all, and then it gives you dashboards. Okay, so it will tell you about dashboards. Likewise, so it will tell you maybe the data is there for 2024. Let me see it. Okay, so there. So if the data is there for 2024, it generates. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if if there is a data. Okay. So likewise, yeah, there is. It seems there is no data in this. So you will find your data readiness here. Okay, so for example, let me talk about it. I think there is no data in that, for example. So you get a dashboard where you can see your ESG performance. Similarly, you have like a strategy focused organization. So this is another way to do assessment for the organization. There is another way is the organizational health index. No matter what is the methodology you have, the data is available. So you can select it and then the assessment part. Okay, likewise. So likewise, you have all your performance reported based on the assessments. So this helps you to do assessments, and we are adding one more here, which is the capability readiness index kind of thing. Then you can see now all having said, so you need to look at the overall performance. So there is a module called scores. So here specifically you see the overall scores where you talk about the balance scorecard or for example, if you have a mean scorecard kind of thing, so you can see the reporting. So it is completely calculation. So you can see the full calculation of your performance. So this is the performance is like 76. So you can have the full breakup of this calculation, how this arrived. You can see it here. So likewise, you can have for the initiatives, for the portfolios, Even for the portfolios, you can see, let me check all and generate. So you can see all portfolio scores here. So all portfolio scores can be seen, and your program scores can be seen. You have reports, plenty of reports, like a balance scorecard report kind of thing. Okay, and then there are plenty of reports. There are plenty of dashboards available. So, for example, one dashboard could be like a scorecard where you talk about, you can select whatever scorecards you want to do it. So it will tell you the balance scorecard very easily, and then you can put a cursor there. You can see the performance of that employees. You can see the pictures, who is responsible. Likewise, there is a strategy map, which is also very important. Okay, so you can look at strategy map. Okay, and then it's already there. I think you click here, so you get the strategy map. From strategy map, you can. This is like a user defined, so you just right click on it and define the color and all. So you save it. So you click on it. So you see the all connected performance data. So if the people is also connected, individual is connected, you can see everything is connected from here. If you want to know the details, also double click on it. Another screen will open where you see the objective performance, like a story. Objective story can be seen here from here. So you double click it, so that help you to get the drill down. That help you to get the drill down. So this is the whole story of the particular objective, which directly whatever you have created, you can see it from here. In case you have any comment and this object you did not like, you can just communicate from here directly. This is very important. So strategy communication is very important. So you don't have to open your email, write an email something. So email will come directly. So you can say, I'll just write submit one, for example. I write my email or any other thing. Okay. Then I try to all the default data come here, email bodies and all will come, but you can write it whatever you want to write, just whatever, like a poor performance need to improve kind of thing. Okay. So then I just save it. What happens is a record will come here, and then also an email will go to the individual whoever is responsible. Yeah, I think I received the email. Okay, so likewise. So now if I open my email, you see here, this is something which is very important. Email will go. You don't have to open email and write it. Okay, so then the individual end user, what he will do is just to click it. You don't have to do anything. Just click it and then open it. Okay, so you open it and then you update all your performance here and then save it. So all what you need to do is just you need to, okay, now this is like a open status. I try to complete it. Okay, the task is completed successfully and reported, for example. Then I also close this. Okay, so I have done my job. Then I save it. There is a save button here. I save it. Then it will close. So it is closed. Now that is moved out of it. Now if I go back, okay, so if I go back to the analysis area okay, here. So if I just refresh it, what happens is, if I refresh it, I'll see that particular task completed. So as an administrator, I have a full control on the particular assessment. You see here, this one, I just checked it. So it was closed. I don't have to worry. Now I want to see what did the user wrote. You see here, the task completed and successfully reported. This is done by the end user. So now we are able to see it here. Likewise, you can monitor all the things from the system. So likewise, this is one area where you can do strategy communication very well. And also you can do that. So like this is the strategy map. Okay, there are plenty of dashboards, reports like that. Finally, coming to Office of Strategy Management. Here, Deep, you are able to hear me, right? Because I'm getting a message here. So you're able to hear me, right, Deep?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have a pop-up message here. Okay, so in the Office of Strategy Management, this is one of the very important area. Every organization wants to do the strategy management, but either they don't have methodology to follow, or they seems that they cannot afford to have a consultant, or they don't have people to do it. So this is what Data Labs India do, help them. So we give the tool, we give the resource. If you need only 2 hours a week, so take the 2 hours a week. So we give tool, resource, and then methodology. Then we also guide how to implement it. So this is one of our offering called a remote extended Office of Strategy Management. So we give the complete solution for the individual organization, especially mid-size who don't want to hire a full-time strategy executives, or they don't want to take a software licensing and procure, and who don't know how to use methodologies also. We give all these three things bundled together in an affordable way, and we take the responsibility to help you to do the strategy transformations. Okay, so this way you don't have to hire a full-time guy, and you don't need to hire the software kind of thing. Everything we bring it, and then you can just use it as much as you can it, and then you can pay per the use kind of thing. Okay, uh, so this is one offering. So in this, we made this module very useful, very easy to operate your strategy from, for example, for a particular business unit, if you have for a scorecard. Okay, so you can have all the list of things. So whoever, like for example, you have 10 departments. Okay, each have 10 department have to update the data. Sometimes, one of the major challenges, some people update the data, some don't. Sometimes, integration does not happen. So everything can be seen from here. You can see it, you can update it, and then also you can conclude it from here. So if you want to send a reminder for somebody, you can directly, all in one screen, you can do that. So you can just send a reminder, re-reminders, and also do that. And also, for example, if this is, you have any doubt for this particular measure or objective, but you think that there is a problem, a user did not enter properly, you can directly double click on it and go and then look at it. This is only for the administrators, like Office of Strategy Management users. What they do is they can use this for managing their operations. So likewise, you can directly go, you can see what is happening. Okay, now it's 100, 200 days is correct. Maybe he wrote some remarks. You can just check it. Okay, maybe if you want to add from the Office of Strategy Management point of view, if you want to add something, like if you want to add something, okay, this seems the more justification is required, for example, kind of thing. So you can just identify that, and then you can save it. So it will automatically, it will go there and it will save. Then you can just look at it. Yeah. So you can just, if you refresh, so you can just see the comment also here somewhere. So you can see your comments also, likewise. Okay, so all the things you can manage through Office of Strategy Management module. From Office of Strategy Management, you can do a balance scorecard, OKRs, initiatives, budgets, people performance, everything which is required to manage your strategy, you can do it. So one user can do all the things in the organization. Now coming to the fantastic part of it. So there is something called AI. So you click here, so you can just get the username details, and then you can also look into get the more like a query where you can have a talk to data kind of thing. So there is some industry KPIs, communication structures, and then there are it is a, you can search it by module. It's a multilingual. No matter where are you, so all languages are supported, kind of thing. Then we have an extended version of thing which is here. We have extended version of this. Okay. So this is, we call it as a AI. Okay, AI version of it. So AI add-ons. So now everybody is talking about artificial intelligence, and we cannot set back. So artificial intelligence modules, we are adding it. we are very aggressively adding it. Now we started with interview chatbot and talk to data. So interview chatbot means, so this is like end user. Now I'm an end user. I want to attend for an interview. So this is a strategy assessment for SAK, Sheikh Abdul Khadar. Okay, now I have 5 questions. For example, I will start my interview. Okay, so I'll get this screen. I'll just run my. So this could be a video recorded by a CEO or by Office of Strategy Management or by any other things. So I can just record my answer by clicking this record button. I record it. I just verbally speak, record it, and then if you want to pause also, you can pause and then save it. The moment I record, save, and give, it will take maybe 5-10 seconds. All your answers will be converted and shown here. You can correct it. Okay, and then you can go to the next question. Okay, likewise, you finish all your interview questions, then system will do it. Then what happens is in the back end, so the system will do all artificial intelligence models will do collect all these audio and convert into text. Then you finally come up with a sentiment. It will tell you, for example, if you have like 100 employees, if you want to do the assessment for all 100, so how much time it will take? It will be very difficult. So you give them the link, let them do all in one shot. The system will consolidate and give the meaningful insight within fraction of 5 minutes. What else you want? Okay, so this is something AI model, what we have done. Okay, and then we also have a talk to data. This is very simple. Now, no more dashboards, no more reports kind of thing. So just you ask for it, whatever query you want to write. The system knows about all this, right? All this data structure system knows. So it will do natural language processing and then come up with a very intensive analysis of AI model and then give you the answer. Okay, so likewise, so you can do all AI models into this. So then what we are trying to do next is we are doing more. Okay, so we want to do all the things whatever is required for the organizations to execute strategy successfully. So I think this is the very high level view of what we do is. So in summary, so all the key features of fruiStrategy are like that. So you can see all the things. So Power BI integrations, you have a native integrations with any APIs. It is very easy to more customize. Okay, all those things can be possible through fruiStrategy. Yeah. So I think that's a primary session where I would like to talk. Okay, so if you have any questions or any things, please feel free. This is my contact details. You can contact Kuldeep or you can contact anybody. Okay, so please feel free. We are here to support you.